Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Another Wednesday night installment in The Panel Has Spoken Live, and it's another 80's, late 80's entry with Skid Row, the debut album. And we'll get right in. This night is to dedicate Left Hand Clyde. So far, I see quite a few people in the chat. We're going to kind of drag our heels a little bit to see if other people show up. So far, I see Cecil Music. Good to see you. My boy Scotty Sky talking about the night. This night is to dedicate Left Hand Clyde. So if you want to get in on the chat, be sure to get in on the chat, and go ahead and put my social media up here, the website, which I'm going to be working on updating, and other social media that you can get in touch with me on, and put your list in on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, and if you hear what sounds like a jungle going on or a circus of barrel monkeys, I've got some grandkids that are getting ready to leave, and they've just had 2 cookies to eat. So they're all hyped up on sugar. And, that's what you do with grandkids. You hype them up on sugar, and you send them home to the kids and let them deal with it, right? That's one of the joys of being a grandparent. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you guys. I guess I need to pinch myself because I don't have on any green. I just have on my Destroyer shirt here. We'll pull this down here so we can. I have, in honor of Kiss Destroyer, I have on my Destroyer shirt. Destroyer just had an anniversary, and so it's a great album. And that kind of leads into, I'm going to talk about this up front, kind of leads into something that I'm going to be doing. At some point in time, I'm going to take a break with a track versus track as far as Kiss albums goes. I might only do one a month. What I want to do is, I was thinking of, so I love having you guys involved. And when I can have you guys on the show, I really love that. I really love when I have, I did a live thing before where I had people just come in and hang out and talk about Kiss. And we can't all get together and hang out and drink our beers or our waters or our Diet Dr. Peppers, not endorsed, or anything like that. But we can get together virtually and just sit down and just chill and talk. And what I want to do is, I was talking to some friends the other day, and we were talking, and we got to talking. It kind of stemmed coming from the Elder versus Animalize, where we really got off on a tangent talking about the Elder. And that's one thing that I just loved. I love how when Kiss fans get together and talk about an album, and they just share things that they know. Oh, did you know this little bit of trivia? Or have you ever heard this in that song? Or, oh, my favorite song's this song. Oh, I hate that song. And so I'm going to be coming out with a new series. And what we're going to be doing is, I want you to go ahead and put this in your, and I'm going to mention this over my next few videos. I know this isn't a Kiss video, but I know a lot of you that watch this either live or watch it on the replay, that you are people who watch me and also watch my Kiss videos. I'm going to be doing a series probably starting in April called A Deeper Discussion. And we're going to focus on Kiss albums. We're going to pick a Kiss album, and I'm going to basically put it out there that if you want to be involved in that deeper discussion video, and if you have a webcam, if you have a microphone or a headset, a very reliable internet connection, and can get somewhere quiet for about an hour during the week. And we're going to do it live. It's not going to be pre-recorded. It's going to be live. And I can have up to 10 people at once. I don't know if we'll get 10 people, or I don't know if I'll put all 10 people in at once. But I want to bring people in that want to talk about, say we do the first Kiss album. I want to bring people in that want to talk about that album. And just if you want to come on and talk about your favorite song, what songs you like, what songs you don't like. If you want to talk about anything about the album or anything about Kiss during that time, it's just a deeper discussion during that time for that album, for us to just sit around as Kiss fans, either in the video or you guys watching live, and just have a deep discussion about it. So be on the lookout for upcoming announcements for a deeper discussion. And what I may do is I may do chronological. I may start with the first Kiss album and do chronological, or I may just throw all the Kiss albums in a hat and draw one out. And it could be you don't know what's coming next. And I kind of like that idea a little better, because we could do Kiss, the first Kiss album one week, and then the next week we might do Sonic Boom. And that way you never know. It's the luck of the draw, which one we're going to get. So just be on the lookout for that. A deeper discussion series coming up, starting in the month of April. And you'll probably see posts coming up around the latter part of this month. And it's basically going to be like, hey, if you want to be involved in this, you're basically going to go to my website, send me an email about why you want to be on the show. And that way I'll have your email back. I'll have your email address so I can send you a link to the show for that day. And it's real simple. You can have a tablet, you can have a phone, you can have a computer, a laptop, you can have Android, you can have iPad, you can have Apple. It really makes it easy. What I require for you to have is just someplace quiet that you can get, where you can put headphones on and have a microphone on your headphones and look presentable, and just be willing to talk about Kiss. I think it would be a really good idea. And what do you guys think? What do you think about that idea? And it'd be real easy. You don't have to download a program. I know Emily. I see Emily. Hey, Em. She's been in my videos before, and we had to do Skype, and it was all stupid and crazy and everything. And I literally could put a link in this chat right now, and you guys could pop in this live feed with me, having no extra program or anything like that. And so I want to make it. That's one of the reasons why I switched to this stream, because I kind of had this idea in mind, and so that's what I want you guys to be looking out for. Before we get into Skid Row, I want you to notice back here. I don't know if you can see it, but we got the Kiss blocks, and today's configuration is still going with the Elder. We've got Paul Stanley. We got Gene Simmons. We got Ace. And we got Eric in place of Peter. So the Kiss blocks behind me today are the Elders, Creatures of the Elders, the Elder album. That lineup was very short-lived, and I think that lineup would have been good if we would have got a couple more albums out of them. If we would have had that lineup for Creatures, I think that would have been kick-ass. I think it would have been really good if we could have had that. All right, so let's see. I see Emily. I see Scotty. I thought I saw Sublime. I see Sublime. What's up, everybody? Good to see everybody. We're getting ready to get into the panel. It was a small panel. It was only 12 of us, but that's okay. It could have been 2 of us, and I still would have done it. So, see, we're almost at 15 after. What I want to go ahead and show is I found something in the wild. I went out shopping. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen this already. But a couple weekends ago, I went out shopping. I just happened to be in Asheville, and there's a bunch of Goodwills in Asheville. And I went to a Goodwill store, and I found one of these. Now I know it's, that's clearly Eric and Tommy. But I found this, and it's sealed, limited edition Pez, and it's not. I paid $10 for it. It's not worth hardly any money. But I just thought it was kind of neat because it is sealed. It is Pez, and it's got this on the back, so it's clearly that current lineup of Kiss. I don't know when this was put out. I feel like this isn't Spencer's era type stuff, but it don't have a date on it, so I don't really know when this is from. I don't know if any of you guys have one of these. I don't know if your mom, if Miss Sandy has one of these. Oh, here it is. 2013 Kiss catalog. You can't really see it there. But yeah, this is 2013. So it's almost 10 years old. A couple more years, be 10 years old. So yeah, that's another one for the mural behind me. Another one for the piano desk. All right, so hey, I hit it just about right on that. It's almost right at 15 after. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about Skid Row. For M said she's not familiar with this album, and this is what the album looks like. And this is Skid Row. It's debut album, Skid Row. And I don't know a lot of history about the band. I think they were discovered by Bon Jovi, by John Bon Jovi, and I think they're from New Jersey, maybe. I don't know. I may be wrong in that. If any of you Skid Row fans or hardcore Skid Row fans, if you can correct me, either in the live comments if you're watching live, or in the regular comments if you're watching the replay. But Skid Row, this album came out in '89, and there's Cecil. Yes, yep. Here we go. Pop this up there. Cecil says, "Yep, New Jersey." I thought that they were from New Jersey, and Bon Jovi was real proud that he discovered this band. And Skid Row, the first two albums from Skid Row are the only two that I'm really familiar with. If they have better albums past the first two, then I don't know it. But the first album, this album here, they put out an amazing show. I saw them on this tour, and they also put out a video called "Oh Say Can You Scream," which you can watch it on YouTube. It is so good, and it has a lot of live versions of these songs. It has a few of the videos, but it has a lot of live versions. And I remember me and my boy Scotty Sky, we wore this VHS tape of this video out. We wore this thing out. One night back in December, I was watching it on YouTube, and I was taking videos of it and sending them to him to show him, some of the scenes that we used to laugh about and act out. And I was like 20, and I don't know how Scott, I don't know how much younger you are than me. I think Scott's at least 5 years younger than me. I'm 51, and I don't know how old you are, Scott. I'm sorry. Can't remember. But this album, I really loved this album when it came out, and it really but I love Slave to the Grind better. The second album they put out, it was heavier and more metal, and just had more energy, better production value. Not that this one didn't have crappy production value. It really did. Atlantic put a lot of money into them very early because they knew what they had. But I like Slave to the Grind better. I think they'd matured and got better as songwriters, and they were already good musicians, and the production just on Slave to the Grind was better. And I've always heard that too, Cecil, that Dave the Snake is a really good guy. All the guys in Slave to the Grind, all the guys in Skid Row seems like they would be good guys to me, except for Sebastian. Sebastian just seems like he would be a typical lead singer, and we all know how lead singers can be sometimes. But Scotty Hill and Snake Sabo. They just and Rachel Bolin and God, I can't remember what's the drummer's name. I can't believe I can't remember the drummer's name. But it's Rachel Bolin is the bassist. He wrote a lot of the songs. David Snake Sabo, Scotty Hill, Sebastian Bach, and what's the drummer's name? Somebody help me out. The drummer's name in the comments or live. Let me know. I'm looking at the comments because I'm waiting to see. Gosh, right there on the tip of my tongue. So somebody will pop it in, and we'll go ahead and talk about the panel while I'm waiting. Rob Afuso, there you go. Cecil, you're on top of it tonight. Cecil's on top of it tonight. Rob Afuso. So we had 12 on the panel. We had myself, Sublime 130, Roger Bennett. These are from YouTube. Sublime 130, Roger Bennett, Joel Pegg, and Hard Rock Reverie. From Twitter, Tom Dust, David King, and Deuce. From Instagram, AJ Zetro 1975, Kiss 113 SI. From Facebook, Matt Ucci and Scotty Sky. So we had 12 on the panel, and we got 11 songs. So it's 20 after. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I did do predictions on this one. I didn't do predictions on the last album because I had no clue. I think on Paul Stanley's album, I had no clue. But I have a pretty good idea just from growing up and being around when this album came out and knowing what songs people liked and what they didn't like and knowing what my friends liked and what they didn't like. So I had a pretty good idea about what songs people really gelled with and which ones they didn't. There may be a couple slots I'm wrong on towards the bottom and towards the top, but I think I'm going to hit in the general area. So we're going to start with track number 10. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I like this album. I love this album. There's a couple songs on it that I consider filler, real bad filler, and not very good songs filler as far as I'm concerned, as far as my opinion. But is there a bad song on here? I don't think there's a horrible song. I don't skip any songs. I don't think there are horrible songs on here, but there are definitely 9 songs that's better than the rest. And in my opinion, there are like 6 songs that are better than the rest. My top 6 are all really songs I really love. So starting with number 11, my prediction is the last track on the album, Midnight Tornado. And it's the one that goes, when the clock strikes midnight, I'm on the prowl of love. And then it's got Tornado, which is kind of like the instrumental that's at the very end. That's kind of a heavy jam. It's almost kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Kiss riff. It's like da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Kind of reminds me of something you might have heard on Creatures or something like that. And a lot of these guys were really influenced by Kiss, by Ace Frehley, and by Kiss especially. Ace is a big influence on a lot of these guys. Sebastian is a huge Kiss fan himself. And so this is a band that Kiss influenced. So, and you hear a lot of the, I was playing one of the solos with my son. I was playing it for him earlier and we were listening to it. And he was talking about how I said one of his biggest influences was, I think it was a Snake solo. And he said, I said, one of his biggest influence was Ace. And I can hear that because he repeats a lot of in that particular solo, he repeats a lot of stuff like Ace does. And so you can really hear when an influence comes through for a band. But I predicted Midnight Tornado because it's one of the songs that feels like filler to me. And so that's just what I predicted. What the panel picked for number 11 with 23 points, the lowest points, 23 points. The panel chose from number 11, Midnight Tornado. I was right. And like I said, just for the same reason, I don't really think you guys thought it was that good. I saw a lot of you was choosing it as your last song or your next to last song. My pick I'm not going to say what I picked for 11. I'll tell you where I picked Midnight Tornado. Midnight Tornado for me was 10. There's one song that I think is even more filler than Midnight Tornado. Midnight Tornado is filler. To me, it's filler, but it at least rocks a little bit, and plus Tornado at the very end, that heavy instrumental they do, it kind of ups it a little bit out of the 11th place. 10 and 11, to me, my 10 and 11 could just about be tied, but Tornado does edge this song up to 10 a little bit for me personally. So you guys chose Midnight Tornado 11. I chose it. For me, I chose it 10. All right. So that takes us to number 10 track. I predicted you guys were going to choose Rattlesnake Shake and not Motley Crue Rattlesnake Shake. Every time I hear Rattlesnake Shake, I always think of Motley Crue's Rattlesnake Shake. This is the one, shake, shake, shake it like a rattlesnake. And if you have ever seen the old Say Can You Scream video, it looks like they actually do this as an audition, because they show a video of them performing it live, but they're in like this room where it's got a drop ceiling, and it's got the fluorescent lighting, and it almost looks like an audition tape. I've seen audition tapes before, and it doesn't say that it's an audition tape or anything, but it's not alive as front as being in front of a crowd, but it is them performing it live, and it almost feels very audition-ish. This is what we can do, and this is how we sound like live, and this is how we can move around on the stage and show our stage presence. Is it that? I don't know, but it kind of looks like that to me. But I predicted you guys were going to choose Rattlesnake Shake as number 10. For number 10, what you chose with 29 points for number 10 is Rattlesnake Shake. And where I picked Rattlesnake Shake for me is number 11. It's one of those songs that's filler to me, and it's not as good, in my opinion, as Midnight Tornado. It's not a bad song. I don't skip it. Like I said, there's not a song on this album that I don't like, that I hate, but it's not as good as some of these other songs, man. It's not as good as some of these other songs. So let's go ahead and get into the good stuff as far as I'm concerned. Let's talk about number 9 through 1. So my prediction for number 9 was Can't Stand the Heartache. That's what I thought you guys was going to choose for number 9. And what you guys actually chose, and so far I've been right. My picks have matched what you guys have chose. What you guys chose with 50 points, going from 29 to 50, what you chose for number 9 is Can't Stand the Heartache. And where I chose Can't Stand the Heartache, for me personally, is number 8. I love Can't Stand the Heartache. It's not one of the stronger songs on the album, but it really shows Skid Row making a good song. And I like the gang vocals that's all through this during the choruses. It's more than what it sounds like the whole band is singing. And I know that all the guys in the band can sing and they sing live, but the gang vocals during the choruses on this album sounds really good. It's not just Sebastian singing or Sebastian backing himself up or one person backing him up. It's just got that big full. The choruses on this album is really full. They usually kick in really good, and they usually have these gang vocals going, background vocals going. So yeah, for me, Can't Stand the Heartache is 8 for me, just because there is 7 songs better, and you guys are going to crap your pants over what song I chose for number 9, because you already know my 10 and 11, and now you know my 8, and you're going to crap your pants when you find out what I chose for number 9. My son said y'all might disown me, but if you do, you'll be back next week. So that takes us up. So number 9, you guys chose Can't Stand the Heartache. I chose it as 8 for me. That brings us to number 8. And I predicted you guys were going to choose Piece of Me. And the reason why I thought you guys were going to choose that is just because it's a heavy song. It's a rocking song. It's got that real chromatic riff that it's got going on, and it's really cool. But I know that a lot of people that I know back in the day, they didn't really care for Piece of Me. And in the video, I always thought this was really cool because in the video, if you've seen "Oh Say Can You Scream," this is the video where Sebastian gets hit in the head with the glass bottle that somebody threw. And I can still see him saying, "Is that you, cocksucker?" that threw the I shouldn't have said that, but that's what he says on the video, that threw the thing. And he got so pissed off, he actually, in the middle of this song, jumped off the stage and just started laying into this guy. And he ended up getting arrested for it. And they document the whole thing. He had his head cut open and he was going to have to go to the hospital. And then they were going to take him to jail. And he had to get bailed out of jail because he basically assaulted somebody. But somebody threw a bottle at his head and busted his head open. He had like a gash on the top of his head about that big. And he was pissed off about it in that video. But so you guys, I predicted Piece of Me for number 8. This shocked me that you chose this song down this low. And you'll find out why when you see where I picked this song. At number 8 with 61 points, you guys chose Here I Am for number 8. And I chose Here I Am for me at number 3 because I freaking love Here I Am. I just think it's amazing. The riff kicks butt. The verses is cool. And when it kicks into the chorus, that Here I Am, that gang vocals, and he's like, "Close your eyes and I'll be Superman." It's just so awesome. That's an awesome, awesome song. And you guys picked it down low. Some people picked it really low, and it just pushed it on down. So Here I Am is number 3 for me. But you guys chose Here I Am as number 8, and I'm sadly disappointed. So that brings us to number 7. I predicted that you guys were going to choose Here I Am low. I don't know why. I'm saddened and disappointed, but I actually thought that you guys were going to pick it low because I've got that you were going to choose it at number 7. Sometimes I contradict myself. I can't help it. So I predicted Here I Am at number 7. What you guys actually chose at number 7 with 62 points, just 1 point above number 8. You guys chose for number 7, 62 points, Piece of Me, which I was just a little off on that one. So Piece of Me for me is number 7 as well. I like the song, and I think it kicks butt. I like that, all the things, the chromatics about it, and just how it's just kind of a kick-ass song, for a fight. He says, "I'm looking for a fight." But then he's like, I always think it's funny in this song. He says something about sleazing in the city. I'm looking for a fight. And then he says, "I've got my heels on looking pretty on a Saturday night. If you got heels on, you might have been looking for a fight. Well, Kiss had heels, but I don't know why, but I hear Sebastian say he's got heels on. I don't know why I think of stilettos. I don't know. And Rachel Bolan probably wrote the words because I think he wrote a lot of the words for these songs. I think that he was one of the primary lyricists on the first album, especially. Not so much on Slave to the Grind, but on the first album, I think he wrote a lot of songs. They were his and Snake's babies, if I'm not mistaken. I agree, Sublime. Sublime right there. Here I Am is excellent. I agree. All right. So, Piece of Me, you guys chose it at number 7. I chose it at number 7 too. So that brings us up to the top 6. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, my top 6 for me is they could all be 1s or 2s. My top 6. I love these songs. So let's see what you guys put in your top 6, and I'll tell you and you'll see what I got in my top 6. I think my top 6 might be better than your top 6. I predicted for number 6, you guys were going to choose Sweet Little Sister. That's a song that I don't know if you'd hear the title today, Sweet Little Sister. But it's basically just a guy talking about his little sister, about how she's a tramp and how she sneaks out the door, sneaks out the window at night and goes off and does all these crazy things. And he's like, I know a thing or two about my sweet little sister. Mom would kill her if she knew what she do. My sweet little sister. So it's those lyrics, all those verbatim. I might have embellished a little on them, but it's a little bit of a cringy song these days, but it's still a great song. It kicks ass to me. What you guys picked at number 6 instead of Sweet Little Sister, you guys picked with 62 points. You picked the lead off song on the album, Big Guns. And Big Guns, to me, is number 5. But I'm telling you, like I said, 5 don't mean nothing. 6 through 1 are all 1s and 2s. Big Guns is an amazing way to start an album. Like Carla always says, when you hear the lead track on an album, it gives you an idea about what you are in for. And they do it with this song on this album with Big Guns, and with Monkey Business on the Slave to the Grind album. With those 2 songs, with their first 2 lead-off tracks on either album, they give you a great idea about what that album is going to be like. So you guys picked Big Guns for number 6. I picked Big Guns for number 5 for me. Great way to start. It's actually the way they start their Say Can You Scream video. They do a video. They show the video of it, and then they've got live footage of them singing it. So yeah, Big Guns. All right, my prediction for number 5, getting into the top 5. I predicted you guys were going to choose Making a Mess. What you guys actually chose at number 5 with 77 points, and this surprised me that you picked this low. I actually thought this was going to go higher. You'll find out in my predictions, but I actually thought this was going to go higher. But with 77 points at number 5, you guys chose I Remember You, the hit. And I think it may be because maybe fatigue a little bit, because everybody knows I Remember You. Everybody knows that song. There's 3 songs on here I think most people know, and one of them is I Remember You. Now, where did I pick I Remember You for me? You guys picked it at number 5. I picked it for me, number 4. I Remember You is amazing. It's a great song. Sebastian's vocals on it is amazing. And whenever they do the video, whenever they do this on the video, it's actually live. They film it in concert, and they change it up. And they have the whole first part of the song just acoustic, just Sebastian and either Scotty or Dave, Snake, whoever's playing the guitar, and they don't kick in until they get to the solo. When he says, "And through it all, we kept the promise that we made that we'd never be lonely," and then they kick in after the solo or during the solo. But yeah, I Remember You is a great song. Fatigued or not, it's a great song. So you guys picked it at number 5. I picked it at number 4. So that brings us to top 4. I predicted you guys was going to choose Big Guns at number 4. And you guys have already picked that. You picked it lower. What you actually picked at number 4 with 82 points is Sweet Little Sister. Y'all a bunch of pervs like I am. Sweet Little Sister, you guys picked it at number 4. I picked Sweet Little Sister at number 2 because I'm super pervy. I love Sweet Little Sister. It's one of those songs when it starts off that cowbell, that do-do-da-da-da-da-na-na, when it kicks into that riff, and it's got some really cool drums during the verse. During the verse when he's singing, Rob's doing like a bunch of stuff on the toms. He's rolling down the toms and everything. It's got a great solo. It's just one of those songs that's got a lot of energy, and it just kicks in and it just goes and it just goes. And it's great. It's great. Got a great solo, and I love it. I love it. You love it. I picked it at number 2. You guys picked it at number 4. We're all pervy together. So, hey, let's have a drink. Let's toast a drink on being pervs, okay? All right. So that brings us to top 3. I predicted you guys were going to choose the hits. So Number 3, I predicted you guys was going to choose I Remember You. Well, you chose it down at number 5. At number 3, with 85 points, just barely edging out the 4th spot, you guys chose 18 in Life. The other hit. Amazing video, great song, good story. Ricky was a young boy. He had a heart of stone. We used to sing it back in the day. We used to be really big. I don't know if Scott's still in here or not, but we used to be really big about perving up lyrics, and we used to say Ricky, and I still sing it to this day. Ricky was a young boy. He had a heart on. He had a heart on instead of heart of stone, because we're pervs, and I'm still a perv at 51. But it's just things that we did when we were kids. I was 20 when this album came out, 19, 20, somewhere around there. So it was just fun stuff. It was just fun stuff. It was a fun, crazy, sleazy time back then to be living in. But yeah, so that's what I used to do. You guys chose 18 in Life at 80 with 85. You guys chose it at number 3. Now here you go. Me, 18 in Life. Number 9. Number 9 for 18 in Life for me, because I've never really been the biggest fan of this song. I like it. I don't skip it. Like I said, there's not a song on this album that I don't like. I like the video more than I do the song. But I like 18 in Life, but it doesn't touch my top 6. So I'm glad you guys like 18 in Life as your number 3. But for me, 18 in Life is number 9. So, hope you still watch next week, even though I chose 18 in Life at number 9. That's my right, though. I can do that. Top 2. I predicted for number 2 that you guys were going to choose 18 in Life. I know that was a huge, huge, huge song for them, as big as I Remember You. And I was proud of this. I was proud of this number 2 pick. I'm so proud of this number 2 pick. With 90 points, you guys chose for number 2, Making a Mess. Making a Mess is just great. It's a great song. Making a Mess, to me, you guys chose it number 2. I got you beat. I chose it number 1. Number 1 for me. Just the way this song starts, the very beginning, that scream, that Sebastian, oh yeah, and then it just crashes into that blistering riff. And this song is just upbeat, and this song's just badass. If you've never heard Making a Mess, after this video, you need to go listen to Making a Mess, because it is awesome. It's a great song. Amazing solo. It's just a great song. Good performance all the way around by the band. So you chose Making a Mess as your second song with 90. I chose Making a Mess as number 1 for me. All right. So that only leaves one song. That leaves the one song that I knew was going to be the number 1 song for you guys. My number 1 prediction for the number 1 song is Youth Gone Wild. Everybody knows Youth Gone Wild. It's the anthem. It was the anthem of the band. It was the anthem of that time. We are the youth gone wild. We are the young. Raise your hands. We're not so young anymore. At least some of us are. And we're not all Emily's age. And some of the other real young viewers, the young whippersnappers that watch the old man's channel. So we're not all youngins anymore. Some of us are 40s and up. So, we're still young. I'm 51. I'm still young. And some of you guys that's my age and a little older than me, we're still young. We're still kicking it. But you guys chose Youth Gone Wild as number 1 with 103 points. Youth Gone Wild for me is number 6. It kicks ass. It is the anthem of this album. It's the anthem of this band. But it could be just as well as be number 1 or number 2 for me. But it gets put at number 6 because there's 5 songs I like better. All right. So I'm going to recap my list, and then I'm going to recap the panel's list. Number 11, I picked Rattlesnake Shake. Number 10, I picked Midnight Tornado. Number 9, 18 in Life. Number 8, Can't Stand the Heartache. Number 7, Piece of Me. Number 6, Youth Gone Wild. Number 5, Big Guns. Number 4, I Remember You. Number 3, Here I Am. Number 2, Sweet Little Sister. And number 1, Making a Mess. If you have not heard my top 3 songs, Making a Mess, Sweet Little Sister, and Here I Am, if you've not heard those songs, you owe it to yourself to go look those songs up and at least give them a listen, because they are excellent songs in my opinions. And then what you guys chose as a panel. Number 11, Midnight Tornado. Number 10, Rattlesnake Shake. Number 9, Can't Stand the Heartache. Number 8, Here I Am. Number 7, Piece of Me. Number 6, Big Guns. Number 5, I Remember You. Number 4, Sweet Little Sister. 3, 18 in Life. 2, Making a Mess. And number 1 pick for the panel off of Skid Row debut album, Youth Gone Wild. We are the youth gone wild. We were the youth going wild. We were going wild, and we were pervy, and we were Sweet Little Sister and all that other stuff. And we had an amazing time doing it. Didn't we, Scott? Didn't we, Scotty Scott? I had so much fun, I can't remember half of it. Every day this man tells me stuff in chats that I did, and I'm like, I did that? And he's like, yeah, you did that. And I'm like, I kind of remember it, kind of, sort of. But like from 18 to like 23 until when I got married when I was 24, it's a blur. It's a blur, blackout. Some of it probably for protective reasons. I'm just saying. I can't remember a lot. So that is it for Skid Row. I'm going to go ahead and talk about what we're going to do next. The next 80s panel video that we're going to be taking votes for. It'll come up on my social media in a day or two. I give a couple days for people to be able to watch the video so I don't spoil it for them. And then after a couple days, I put it up. So we just did Skid Row. We're going to step back into the 80s a little bit, and a band that I've heard you mention their name. You've mentioned different albums. This is one of my favorite albums by them. There's 3 albums by this band that I'm definitely going to be doing over the course of the year. And so the first album that I'm going to do by them, and I'll show you this album, and I'll tell you the other 2 albums I'll end up doing by them. But the next 80s album that we're going to do is Dokken, Under Lock and Key. And I'm also with Dokken eventually going to be doing Tooth and Nail and Back for the Attack. So Dokken, Under Lock and Key is the next one we're going to be doing. And at some point in time in the summer going into the fall, we'll be doing Under Lock and Key. I mean, be doing Tooth and Nail and Back for the Attack, because I love those 3 albums by Dokken. I think that's a great album. So that's one of the next ones we'll be doing. Go ahead and let you know about the stuff that we've got coming up. You can still get in on Alice in Chains Dirt. That'll be next Wednesday. That'll be next Wednesday night's video. So if you want to get in on Alice in Chains Dirt, you can get on Alice in Chains Dirt. And at some point in time, I don't know if voting has ended on it or not, but Kiss-wise, we are going to be doing One for All by Peter Criss. And that'll probably be a live video as well. That may be the Wednesday, like not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. And if you've not got your voting in for, oh, wait a minute, it just opened up. Some people have already started getting their voting in, but the next track versus track voting just started today, and you have until I think Sunday, the end of Sunday. But it is Kiss, the debut album, versus Rock and Roll Over. So the next track versus track that you can go to my social media and do the voting for track versus track is going to be Kiss versus Rock and Roll Over. And Scotty Sky he has given me some track versus tracks to do that are not Kiss related. They're 80s bands related. And so I'm going to be doing some of them. And those will be going up on the social media for you guys to vote for as well. So that'll take us well into April. And just a little housekeeping. There is going to be over the Easter weekend there won't be any videos from the 31st of March, the Wednesday of March, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those 5 days I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be at the beach with the family, my whole family, all 18 of us, my kids, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, a couple of our friends, our kids, their spouses, our grandchildren. There's 18 of us total. And we've rented this big, huge 3-story, 4-story house at the beach out on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And we're going to go down and spend 5 days together as a family. And I won't be doing any YouTube related stuff while I'm there, so I can spend time with them and everything. So that'll put me for about a week. But we're going to have an awesome spring. We're going to have an awesome summer, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time listening to these albums together and talking about them together. And I want to mention again, I'm going to put my stuff up here. I'm going to put my social media up here just so you see it. Soon, as I was talking earlier, if you weren't here earlier, there's going to be, we're going to have like deep discussions or in-depth discussions of albums. And we're going to have them starting with Kiss. And I'm just going to probably randomly pick an album. I may start with the first Kiss album. And then just after that, the albums will randomly get picked. But it'll be an opportunity for you guys to, I'll be telling you to go to my website. You can go to my website there, and you can go to the contact page, and you can tell me when I say, hey, go to my website and let me know what video it is that you want to be in. You know, hey, we're going to be doing Kiss debut album. If you have the ability to have a good internet connection, if you have a good, reliable device that has a phone and a microphone on it, or a video camera and a microphone on it, like it can be a camera, it can be a tablet, it can be a laptop, it can be a computer. As long as you have headphones where you can put headphones in where we don't get echo off of the conversation, and you can get somewhere quiet and you can look presentable, then you can tell me you want to be in on that video, why you want to be in on it, and I can tell you the day that we're going to do it, see if you can make it. And if you can make it that day, that day and that time, I'll send you the link so you can get in on the video, and we'll just sit around the virtual campfire and we'll talk about Kiss. We'll talk about that album, and we may get off subject. We usually do. And, but you know, it'll be fun, and it'll be live. And you don't have to stay for the whole thing. You can come on and say what you want to say, and then jet if you want to do that. Or you can stay for the whole thing and just talk about, because sometimes these conversations go in circles, and you can sit and you can just talk. All right. That's all I've got, guys. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you guys are going to have, I hope you guys continue to have a good rest of your week. It seems like things are, at least here in the States and at least in my area, things are finally starting to loosen up. I know they're starting to get vaccinations out there. And if you don't want to get the vaccination, I'm not going to beat you over the head and tell you to get it. You know, even around here, they're starting to loosen up restrictions on the masks a little bit. And I'm not going to get in that political game about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. You know, you do you, boo. You know, you do you, and do what you feel is morally right for you to do, what you feel is the right thing for you to do. But man, guys and gals, just at very least be safe. Be safe and have fun out there, and keep your mind healthy. That's the most important part. Is I agree in keeping your body healthy, but keep your mind healthy, because you get sick in your mind, man, you're going to be sick everywhere else. So keep your mind healthy, keep the negative pushed away, and just focus on the positive. Turn up the rock and roll, turn off the news, and we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate each and every one of you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.